My next guest is coming off the biggest win of his career, taking out former UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo. It is Mario Bautista, live from the car right now. Mario, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Overall thoughts on the performance? Did it kind of play out how you thought it would?
Um, yes and no. As far as like setting, putting him under pressure, just kind of staying on him, this and that. Um, I didn't expect him to, kind of stay on the cage for too long. Um, yeah, no, it was a little different. I looking back at it now, is just kind of like it's almost like a lose-lose situation. You kind of beat Aldo, and then people aren't happy about it, and or like the way you went about it. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a little weird this time. So
Well, that's just it. I think you were in a lose-lose situation because let's say you went out there and you tried to strike with him, you might have lost the fight, right? Because Aldo's very good on the feet. Like, you had a game plan. And by the way, one thing I also want to point out, like, Merab Dvalishvili did the exact same thing, right? And like, I feel like people aren't remembering that there's a path to beat Aldo. Was that a fight you kind of referenced going into this fight, just seeing what Merab was able to do to him?
yeah, I mean, not necessarily like hold him against the cage kind of deal, but Merab kind of just stayed on him. Just kind of put that pressure on him. And I didn't realize it until I got Aldo to the fence, and then I realized, like, okay, like he's staying here. Like, now I understand like why, Merab was able to hold him there. And I don't even know if it was necessarily Merab trying to hold him there. It's just more of like Aldo not really doing anything to circle off, and just like I was saying, um, I think he had a lot of opportunity to circle off. It's just he just kind of chose not to. So I don't know. It was kind of a weird fight, uh, it was just kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything about him surprise you? Like, obviously there's a lot of tape on Aldo, but actually going through it, looking back, was there anything that you weren't expecting?
No, nothing surprised me. No, I thought he would throw a lot more leg kicks, that kind of deal. Um, but no, for the most part, everything else was kind of like what I thought. His striking, he was trying to get me with some good body shots. Um, but that was pretty much it. I guess the only thing that did surprise me is just like the fact that, I was able to kind of keep him there on the cage. Um, yeah, it was weird. There's been other fights where I've kind of pushed fighters against the cage, you know, of lesser talent, I should even say, and they circle right off the cage. So it was kind of it just turned into kind of a weird fight for me.
How confident were you when it went to the scorecards? Because it was a fairly close fight, I thought.
No, yeah, I knew it was going to be close, and I thought I did enough. Um, I just thought like maybe the crowd would kind of like sway it a little bit, because anything he did, whether he landed or missed, they would kind of cheer for that, and anything I did, they booed. So yeah, I was a little worried maybe the crowd would have swayed it.
Do you not think as well, though, that it's sort of this weird combination? You've got Jose Aldo, who's like a fan favorite. Aldo was the underdog, so I'm sure people bet on him in the fight. And I think that's been a big change in the last few years with MMA fans and how they act towards people online. And then just the fact that, like, again, the judges gave it to you in a fairly close fight. Like, I think if it went the other way, I don't think Aldo's getting any hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would get hate no matter what, win or lose. So and I do think that's a big part too, because I was a favorite coming into that, and I know people are just gonna, you know, put their money on Aldo for sure. So I know I lost people a lot of money, quite a bit of people it seems like, um, and even like in the messages and stuff, they they say that they're, you lost, you made me lose my parlay, this and that, like, and they say a bunch of other stuff too. But I think the main thing behind it is a lot of it has to do with losing those bets.
What type of stuff have you been getting online? Is it just one of those things you don't even bother checking Instagram or anything like that? Like what, like how, take me through sort of post fight to now. What have things been like for you online?
Oh, it ranges, from, oh, you lost me money. It gets pretty bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's some fan, like, quite a bit that's, oh, you should just off yourself. You need to go kill yourself. This and that. They
Yeah.
get pretty crazy. So it ranges from that to, congratulations, I thought you did a great job. Like, you won that fight. Don't listen to these guys.
Mhm.
So from there to that, everything in between.
are you able to kind of just separate yourself from that and enjoy the win? Because I know, like, even we're talking, I can tell you're not like super enthused, but I think part of that is because of the backlash, right?
Yeah, a little bit of the backlash, and looking into the fight, like just you know, in those certain areas, I think I could have done like a little bit more. Looking back at it now, um, just kind of pushing the action a little bit more. But I don't know. At the same time, like Aldo needs to do that too. Like he just can't stay on the fence. He needs to like work out of it. That's you're being put in a position where you're not doing anything either. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just been a weird one to kind of take in.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, like the judges, they're the ones that awarded the fight to you. Like you did what you thought was right, and I think maybe that's adding a bit more because of the way it was done. But do you not think as well that people are being a bit unfair to you because like they're the ones that made the decision, right? And they can't take it out on the judges because there's no like judges aren't on social media, but you are.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's just a way to look at it. Day by day, like I really don't care what the fans say. It's just more of like, yeah, I just kind of want to get back in there and just kind of stay active and then just move on from this fight. Honestly, I just kind of want to get back to training. If that's like kind of like the thing for me. I'm on vacation mode right now, with the family and everything, but I'm just itching to kind of get back into the gym and kind of get back into my regular routine and just keep moving forward.
Any advice from teammates on how to deal with this stuff online? Like O'Malley, I'm sure gets it more than anyone, but like, I'm sure you've had other teammates, whether it's Jakar or whoever, like, you get fans that want to say all types of stuff when, it's something they don't approve of, which sounds so weird to say, but that's how you have to look at it.
Yeah, no, I haven't, some advice, like, oh, like, F these fans, like they don't even know what they're talking about. This, everyone, we all have your back, this and that. And then even I realized like, man, like, I think that's why Sean has like that's why he's following one person, and then even like things like what Joe Rogan says, oh, I never read the comments, you'll hear him on his podcast. No, don't read the comments. I'll never read the comments, this and that. So at the same time, I really don't care, because they're not part of my life. And, with these next few fights, the fans have like short-term memory. So I know it'll pass here pretty soon.
Like, is anything like really crossed the line where you're kind of like, okay, like, we gotta like, like, cause you're a dad, obviously. Does that cross your mind at all? Like, hey, I got to think of like, like my family.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. Like my wife will like kind of tag me in some posts and stuff, and I'll have to tell like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I can't repost that because I don't want them like saying stuff to you guys. And I've dealt with this in the past before, like who was it? With Guido Canetti, I had some of his fans kind of say some things about like my daughter and stuff, but I was kind of going back at them. So, and it wasn't at this magnitude either. I think it was just like a select few of people. But I was kind of like advised like not to really say anything back, because I usually do, but I was advised not to say anything back just because they could like flag my stuff, and it'd be kind of a pain to get my social media like back up and running if that was the case. So it's just something you just gotta like take.
I had someone say to me in like a comments being like, Bautista was disrespectful going into the fight. He called Aldo washed. I know for a fact you've never said that. Does it bother you now that like people want to like say things and heighten things because of like the way the fight went, and like they're literally willing to lie about things that were said? Because I don't ever remember you or ever think you would say something like that.
Yeah, no, I never said he was washed. If anything, I just said like it's been his time, and now it's time, for me, but yeah, these fans, they get crazy and they say anything they can, just to make themselves feel better, and then try to make some of these fighters feel bad. So,
Yeah.
but it's not working. So
Do you not think though too, like the pandemic, we had that a couple of years ago, we have gambling like more available. Do you think that's kind of heightened things? Because I don't remember fans being this bad even a couple of years ago.
yeah, I mean, just the backlash I got, like I don't think I've ever seen like other fighters kind of get the same treatment. Could be some gambling thing. That's probably why they have that number at the end and the beginning of some of these websites. Hey, if you need some help, call this number. So maybe a few need to make that call. And imagine that. Like imagine some of these guys like I have friends, but maybe they bet like $100 here and there, but maybe someone that has like an actual like problem and just betted, kind of like their 401k or something, and they lost it. Yeah, maybe I'd message a fight or two if I lost some money.
Has there been any feedback from your management or the UFC or anything, or is that are you kind of just off? You'll wait till you're ready to fight again and kind of reassess it from there, like in terms of like just everything post fight.
Yeah, no, I told my manager like I just kind of want to get back in there pretty soon. I don't want a long layoff anymore because last time I fought in January and then fought in October, that it was just a real long layoff for me. So I just kind of want to get back into the gym, work on some things, tweak some things, learn some different things, and then kind of jump back into the camp and kind of get the ball rolling again. So I don't know. We'll see.
And at the end of the day, you beat Jose Aldo. Not many bantamweights, any fighters in general, can be able to say they've done that. What do you think is next? Because obviously there's a few options. I know one that I think we even talked about before this fight is Cory Sandhagen. That's a fight you had on short notice in your debut.
That's what I was thinking. At this point, I don't care. Like whoever's above me, I'll take whoever. But I kind of was talking to coaches and like people at the UFC staff and this and that, and they were kind of saying like, yeah, Cory would be a good fight, but he is coming off a loss, and I'm 7 in a row. So I think people kind of want to see me fight someone that's, coming off a win or kind of someone similar in my position. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I'll take whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then is there sort of like an ideal timing? You said you don't want to take much time off. Do you think getting one more fight in this year is realistic, or are you thinking more next year, like early next year?
Yeah, I'm thinking like early next year, maybe be in a camp by the end of this year, and then maybe, February, March, somewhere right there, kind of get the year started off early.
This is kind of like a fun game I've been doing with the fighters. So I'm going to give you two names. You pick the name you think makes more sense. So we're going to talk about pound for pound fighters. You tell me which you think is the better option here. So we're going to start first with John Jones and Conor McGregor.
John Jones.
John Jones and George St. Pierre.
John Jones.
John Jones and Anderson Silva.
John Jones.
John Jones and Fedor Emelianenko.
Jones.
John Jones and Habib Nurmagomedov.
I'm going to have to go with Jones again.
And last one, John Jones and Demetrius Johnson.
I'm going to go with Jones, yeah.
I don't think we've spoken since Merab won the title. I was just curious your performance. I know you beat your buddy Sean O'Malley, but obviously, very big win for Merab. We have a new champion now.
Yeah, no, it was impressive. I thought Sean, I think he hurt his hip, and I felt like it kind of showed in that fight. Because I know Sean and I've seen him fight, and and things happen during camp, but he just didn't look the same to me. So with that being said, I don't know. I think Sean beats him 9 out of 10 times. So, yeah, it was unfortunate for Sean, but it does shake things up in the division a little bit, and it opens up some doorways.
It looks like Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be next. How do you think a fight between Umar and Merab goes?
I was pretty cool with Merab. I seen him at the fights in one of the workout rooms, and he seemed really respectful. But then afterwards, I heard he was kind of cheering for Aldo. Anytime he would do something, he'd kind of cheer him on and this and that. So I don't know. He kind of a little two-faced seemed like a little bit. So I don't know. Hopefully Umar beats him up.
Well, when you say Umar has the advantage in striking anyways?
Yeah, definitely in striking. I think he has the grappling to either stop the takedowns or maybe even get some good takedowns and, put him into some different spots. Merab's a great grappler when it comes to wrestling as far as takedowns. But, he's not going to be taking your back. He's not going to be passing your guard or doing jiu-jitsu stuff. So, and I think that's what Umar has. And the type of training he has. So he'll definitely be ready for Merab.
Last question. You mentioned vacation. Is it a staycation or did you go somewhere with the family?
No, we're making quite a bit of a road trip
cool.
through Nevada down into California, and we've been keeping it a secret from my daughter, but we're taking her to Disneyland. So
amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time down there.
That's good. When was the last time you went to Disneyland?
Last time I went, I was, I think, a teenager, so like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to take her to it. We thought about this ever since she was born, and now she's going to be 6. So I think she's really going to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a good age. And now that you got the win bonus, you should pay for the fast track because I think there's a lot of lines there. So you might want to get ahead on that just so your daughter doesn't have to, you guys don't have to wait in line and you're spending more time in the line than on the ride, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're definitely going to do the works for this one because we might go back like in another 5 years again and do the works again. So we're gonna do it good this time.
Mario, thanks so much for doing this, man. Enjoy the vacation. I'm sure we'll talk before the next one. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank my team for like having my back through all this. I can't wait to go back to training and be with that family. My manager, Iridium Sports Agency, everyone, and then just want to thank you for doing this interview, and hopefully you don't get anything crazy on your page either.